What you know about pressure? Just want to go live on Facebook for a minute. I'm going to end Facebook and go back to my home. Yeah. But I just checking shit out. You know how I do. So, yeah, let me remove this. So I'm back on YouTube. What's going on? Let me make sure I'm here. Yep, I'm here. What's going on, Charlie K? I was just live on Facebook, just testing things out. Ain't shit changed over there. Still a bunch of crabs in the bucket. I'm gonna play a few songs, just vibing. What up, New? Hey, New, did you see my video I put up, man? Illuminati? I know you could appreciate that shit. You feel me? I'm gonna drop the link in just a second, man. Give me a second. I had to end my Facebook screen and come on back over here where I belong. I'm gonna play a little. Matter of fact, play my dog. Shit, why not? Nah, yeah. We're gonna play it. I don't give a damn. Go, John!
Tell me if I stay right. Tell me if you want me to coach. Let me know, baby girl, if I ain't right. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me if I make it crazy. If you don't, let me know. Then the tongue gonna roll on the hole. I'ma make right. Taste the peaches and cream. Mine like scrolling all of her streams. She like hold up, nigga, she screams. Know what the strength of this tongue means. Know how I like to be in between. Giving her FaceTime with no screen. Licking her waistline to her seams. She like the dick's nice, but it's mean. Get my thick
lips in my greed. She got a magnet bottom my feet. I might taste her down to her feet. Make her wanna haul off and retreat.
The way she pull handfuls of them sheets, it's like she pull sand off of the beach. Keep her in tongue length for my reach. She be squirting all over them sheets. Yeah. Tell me what it feels like. Tell me if I stay right. Tell me if you want me to coach. Let me know, baby girl, if I ain't right. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me if I make it crazy. If you don't, let me know. Then the tongue gonna roll on the hole. I'ma make great. Tell me what it feels like. Tell me if I stay right. Tell me if you want me to coach. Let me know, baby girl, if I ain't right. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me if I make it crazy. If you don't, let me know. Then the tongue gonna roll on the hole. I'ma make great. Quarantine and we stuck like two bastard hounds when we fuck. I can see her eyes roll and get stuck.
Trying to drain the life up out of these nuts.
Even when I'm down, she's bound to get it up. I can take her down,
Drown up in the guts. She be making sound.
makes me speed it up.
Like I'm in a wrestling match.
I beat it up.
I'm patient, call me McLovin. She's turkey, I do the stuffing. I'm batter, she makes the muffin. How I push my love in her oven. Clean her stove top, it ain't nothing. Wipe the walls down like I'm buffing. Me, I like it from the back, but she keeps saying I be frontin'.
Tell me what it feels like. Tell me if I stay right. Tell me if you want me to coach. Let let me know, baby girl, if I hear right. Tell me how you want it, babe. Tell me if I make it crazy. If you don't let me know, then the tongue gonna roll on the hole. I'ma make gravy.
I'ma make gravy. I'ma make gravy.
If you don't let me know, then the tongue gonna roll on the hole.
I'ma make gravy. I'ma make gravy. I'ma make gravy.
If you don't let me know, then the tongue gonna roll on the hole.
I'ma make gravy.
Tell me what it feels like. Tell me if I stay right. Tell me if you want me to coast. Let me know, baby girl, if I hear right. Tell me how you want it, babe. Tell me if I make it crazy. If you don't let me know, then the tongue gonna roll on the hole. I'ma make gravy.
I don't know what the hell I said, Nu. What's happening, bro?
What up with you?
Cool, man. I tried to get outside my element and leave outside my house and go to a bar. I went and that motherfucker looked around like, nah, this ain't for me. Everybody looked like fucking aliens, man.
Who the fuck is you?
I ain't know nobody in that motherfucker. Like, damn. This my city, and I ain't know a soul in that motherfucker. What's good with you, man?
Shit, what you got done? What you got going on late night?
Man, I'm coolin', man. You know, this is where we just talk about what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Don't even matter. I ain't had no topic. I was just live on Facebook just to see if anybody slide. And you know who slid in there? My same people that from YouTube.
You came
Right.
back home.
I like, you know what? I ended that bitch and just transferred over here, man. Like, fuck y'all. Yep. That's how I feel. The hell you had going on, man?
I was listening to Bro Sanchez.
Who?
I got I don't know if you know who that is, but he pretty deep. Sometimes I agree with what he say. Sometimes I don't.
What they was talking about tonight?
Basically, the Georgia Guidestone and that CERN shit.
You know, the Lioness sent me a link about that tonight. She asked me what I thought about it. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Sad that I'm from Georgia. I don't know a lot about it. I told her the only thing I knew about what you told me and what she told me.
Oh, okay.
But Linus, you know about the Georgia Guidestones. You want to come up here and give your opinion on it? But I heard they just demolished it, right?
Somebody blew one of them up. And
Jizzle!
what up, YJ?
Good news. What was you saying?
One of them they blew one of them up, and then they kind of demolished the rest of them. I guess they just they when they blew it up, it messed one of the top plate, and the top plate seemed like it touched every one of them, and then they demolished all of them, I guess, or just let them fall, however they did it.
Do they know who did it?
They got a car that they show speeding off, but you don't know if something hit it or if it just blew up. If they planted something, you don't see no projectile coming in. They just like blow up. So if they got somebody planting something, they got them because they got cameras out there.
Y'all should have been here last night, man. God damn, what was y'all last night?
I was in the bed, bro. That's exactly where I was.
I don't know why you think going live at 11 o'clock is something to do, but you do that.
I mean, it's a crowd for that though. It's a crowd for every
It
time.
is. You're right. You're right.
You know, some days I'll be with it, but you know, some days shit I'll be out in it. You know, got in the shower, got up out the shower, laid up. You know, it just be what it is. But yeah, you said they blew the shit up. Now that shit crazy.
Do you know what they are, bro?
It's like Stonehenge or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's basically it got commandments on it, and it basically got. It's like, to me, I think it's the New Age 10th Commandments.
New Age. How long has it been up there?
Since the 1980.
Oh, okay. I thought it was older than that.
No, it's not. They started in like the 1970 constructing it. And,
Right.
They,
I mean,
completed in 1980.
like, what made you feel like it was the New Age 10 Commandments and they only placed it in Georgia? You know, I live here and I didn't know too much about it until you told me. You know
A
what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
people don't know anything. I mean, I learned about it on the internet.
Right. So,
Well, it's what it says. I mean, it's basically 10 commandments on it. And if you read them, if you pull it up, a lot of it got to do with things that you can see today. Like they say, the first one says maintain under 500 million as far as the population. Now, you think, I mean, the population is like 9 billion, right? 9 something billion. And that's world population they talking about because it says it.
Oh, that's yeah.
So you would say, all right, so check it out. You would say, how would they wipe out, you know what I mean, 1 billion or 9 billion people and leave the 0.5? Well, that's easy because all y'all just took the jab just about. You know what I mean? Like most of the world has taken the jab.
there you go.
So,
That bullshit.
Well, ain't no bullshit. If you want to ask how, I'm just saying it's easy to trick a person into doing something, or you know what I mean. You might not think that jab is something right now, but I think
No,
that jab's something in the future, bro.
Listen, there's a lot of people who didn't take that jab who got COVID. That's gone. So it was like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, right?
There's people that took it and they gone. So that don't mean anything right now. Colin Powell is the answer to that. So that don't mean anything. The point
Well,
was, if it's an experiment and you was willing to raise your hand and say, yes, I'll take the experiment.
Yeah, I forgot what the fuck we was just talking about. Let me make
We
sure.
talk about the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah, let me code my shit before they cut my shit off.
Hey, look, you said you said late night we can talk about anything. So hey,
Yeah, we can.
It sound like some random shit. Like somebody just wanted to be an asshole type thing. I don't know. Like what's the purpose behind that?
Well, that's what now. Check it out. That's what Bro Sanchez was over there saying. Like he was talking about some energy waves type shit. Meaning,
of course,
they just fired up CERN.
Yeah,
and that those were some pillars that extract energy from pillar to pillar. Like
see, I knew he was.
Yeah, he was going down that road.
He liked the black Alex Jones.
Got you. No. I think he got more truth than Alex Jones.
Okay. Well, that's just my
your take on it. I got you. I understand what you're saying without, like somebody out there might not agree with you, but I understand cold-heartedly what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, he touched on things that, again, I don't agree with. Like this,
right?
I can agree with people, you know what I mean, when they say things and I don't know, and it almost sounds right, and like say if it was something that I was thinking and I was thinking that way, and then somebody came and said it. Unc Fad did that a lot to me. I'm taking that like, yeah, I'm going on the 90% of truth.
He gonna make you think, basically.
Right.
Bro Sanchez, he gonna make you think about it at least. Even if you disagree, he gonna make you think like, huh.
Now he said something that fucked me up though. But see, you're dealing with a brother who
I've been getting paid
$1,000. Worked at power plants before. And he said that y'all think that power plants are really being ran by coal, or energy is being, ran by coal. And I'm like, damn, man, I worked at a power plant before, bro. It's cold going in them belts, going into them boilers. They burning coal. Like I seen it.
Or it's an energy source. They use different energy sources, but yeah.
But they still burning coal. So by me seeing that, and I'm hearing him say that's not true. Right. It's like, no, bro, that's true, bro. I didn't work there. I know, but I don't contest anything. I don't go up there and try to contest it. Did he tell me that the shit ain't doing what I'm thinking it's doing and shit? Like, listen, bro. When the power goes out, if them boilers not running somewhere in the town, power goes out. That's just how it is. And yeah, they got backup plants and all, but it don't work. It don't go like that all the time. Like if them grids go out, power is out in the city.
What up, Nickel B? What up, Amber? I don't know if y'all seen this, but I want to play just a little bit of this real quick, man. So y'all check this out.
It's Mason or something like that. If you didn't mind speaking on that and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, where do I start? No, I'm not a Mason. Let's start there. I studied Freemasonry, though. Studied for about 20, coming up on 20 years now. Studied Freemasonry. I've known Freemasons all my life. They trust me with their secrets. They trust me with their symbols. They trust me with their knowledge.
I don't know about
I'm
that.
considered a 33-degree Master Mason, but I'm not a Mason. I'm sort of what you would call an honorary member because I understand the truth. Masonry is not the Illuminati. Freemasonry is, or was, it originally started off as what science would be called today. Back in the days, there were several sects that knew the truth, and they would put that truth into whatever craft they were practicing at the time. So first you have men and women that make boats, and they make these boats to sail. So they create what is called maritime law, the law of the sea. And there's a gentleman named Jason Whitley, as well as Jordan Maxwell, that speaks. Actually, Jordan Maxwell speaks extensively on this. That in an ancient sense, those who made ships would put spiritual knowledge into the concept of shipbuilding. So you would get God as a ship. God's inner would be the hull. The mind is the sails. And we are on the stage of life sailing, sort of like an old Freemason or Masonic poem is row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's the secret, if you could comprehend what I just said. But the point is that secrets are put into the craft of the teacher. The teacher does not blatantly tell you, this is the truth. You won't even understand it. What the teacher does is put the truth in the craft that the teacher is practicing.
No, I just want to pause it right there because I think my brother YJ got some things you want to say. Go ahead, bro. Speak your piece, man.
Hold on. Why is this not giving me? All right, there I go. Nah, because he started off all wrong, and Nick would be caught it. He said, I'm not a Mason, but then he went on to say, I'm a 33 Mason, and they entrust in me all of the secret. Nah, that ain't how it works.
But he said he's not a Mason. He said
I'm not a Mason, but then he said I'm an honorary member.
Man, play that. If it sounded like that, right. It sounded like that. It reminded me of that Rick James shit where he said, I didn't do nothing on the cap. Yeah, I did something on the cap. Like that's exactly how it was.
Listen
to the beginning, bro.
And all my life, They trust me with their secrets.
Pull it
They
back a
trust
little
me
bit
with their
more.
Symbols. They trust me with their
Right. I've heard say they believe KRS-One is a Mason or something like that. And if you didn't mind speaking on that,
All right.
and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, where do I start? No, I'm not a Mason. Let's start there. I studied Freemasonry, though. Studied for about 20, well, coming up on 20 years now. Studied Freemasonry. I've known Freemasons all my life. They trust me with their secrets. They trust me with their symbols. They trust me with their knowledge. I'm considered a 33-degree Master Mason.
They trust me with their. They trust me with this. They trust me with that.
Hold up. The same stop. He just said it. He said, I'm considered a 33. Bro, 33 is the highest you could go in Masonry, if I'm not mistaken. That means you done went through everything, nigga. You done sacrificed. You done went through every one. But I'm not a Mason.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a red flag. That's right there.
Now, hold up. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Freemasonry and Masons, like Masons are different than what Freemasonry Masons are, I guess. Let's put it like that. They're two different. They're total different. I think Freemasonry is more satanic, is more what the entertainers are in. Masonry is just what your typical people in the world in today. Like, you know, most pastors are Masons. You know, most congressmen and shit are Masons. Most people that I know that can get close to high people are Masons. So it is two different types. But he explained, I'm a 33. He said he's like the highest Mason there is. Like I don't think they get higher than 33. So yeah, this nigga is lying. And he's lying right here to our face. And I like his raps. I'm not gonna lie. He's
I don't like his raps, and he already started.
Man, y'all don't like nobody from the East Coast. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead, push play or something.
That's a whole nother. Hey, don't do that to me, bro.
I know. It's just that I get beat up by him with a couple of East Coast rappers, you know.
Okay.
Everybody beat me up.
I mean, it's some trash on all coasts, so let's put that out there. He ain't trash though. He cool.
So he's sitting here lying, saying he's not a Mason when he really is.
Considered his verbiage.
Saying, yeah, right.
His verbiage was, "I'm considered."
Considered.
Right. So that means when he go to the meeting, that's what he is. He's considered that at the meetings that he go to.
I want to hear what Miss Lorraine want to say, Kyle.
I just want to ask you a quick question. We're gonna go, Miss Lorraine. Would you consider Bob Powers BSM? No, you see where I'm going with this, right?
I don't know who Bob Powers is.
I mean, if we gonna be literal, then he's not. Because if you BSM, then that's what you say you are. I guess. I mean, I when it comes to that, no, not no more. He was. It's just the word as you use. He was. Yes.
Exactly. You know, y'all didn't fall out, did y'all?
We didn't fall out.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? If he just pop up. Wait.
Hold up. We talking about two different things, bro. You talking about a group. You talking about a goddamn rap group, and then you talking about motherfuckers that's been here since before we was born. Masons all been here for a minute, so you know BSM haven't.
You practice the art of war, bro. Don't you? The loudest one fucking wins every time, don't it? Go ahead, Miss Lorraine. How you doing?
Lorraine.
Peace and blessings. He's a Mason. He's a Mason because they're sworn to secrecy. They get their head cut off or their tongue cut out to tell the secrets. He didn't tell any.
Right.
He just, had his little speech. He didn't tell any. There are signs and symbols that they use to identify one another. And everybody doesn't know it. And you know, um, the, there's signs that identify the enemy to one another, and then the white Masons, theirs is a whistle, like they call them dog,
Right.
Can I,
something like
can
that.
I ask you
When
a
they
question?
see a
Can I
black,
ask you
when
a
they
question?
see a black man, when they see a black man, they whistle like that to another white Mason, let them know there's a nigga in the house. Yes. So you know,
Let,
everybody
Right.
doesn't know
And
it,
it's different.
and
It's different kinds too, though.
let,
Like
let,
the
let me ask
yes,
you a question,
yes.
like
Linus.
what's the Scottish rites and the
Mm-hmm.
How,
The Knights of Columbus. Yeah, a bunch of them.
how can you say he didn't share a secret if you don't know any of their secrets?
so you basically saying that when he said I'm not a Mason, that's just part of the whole allure of it. Him saying that's he just said that because he has to say that basically.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
He said they trust him with their information, but he
How do
didn't
they
give out
trust
any.
them with that
He just
information
said
if he ain't one of them?
they have
Like
to
all he
trust.
said, you can read.
They have to trust one another.
That's just like them telling me the
They have
like
to
they
trust
telling me
one
the
another.
secret, and they say, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this, but you ain't one of us. But I'm gonna just let you know. Like they don't work like that.
What's up, Nick with B?
No.
Good evening,
Oh,
everybody. How's
what's
everybody
good?
doing? Hey, bro.
I'm
Hey,
kind of
everybody.
surprised you jumped
Hey,
up
Miss
here.
Nick.
What's popping?
You know, I'm hearing the conversation I finally made alive.
What you got to say? What you got to say?
So, okay. First of all, see, I'm not gonna debunk anything that anybody's saying, but from my understanding, my grandmother is 104 years old and still living, and my great grandfather, he's no longer with us, but he was a real Mason. Masons started off as a way to trade between blacks and whites in a secret way as a secret society. Usually, Masons don't even let you know that they're a Mason. That is a secret right there that you should not know. Like you can't even sit in a room or in a group with Masons because you don't know their language, their lingo. It's too much of a, how do you say it, liability.
Right.
There's things that they share amongst each other that nobody should know. See, my great grandfather, he traded between um whites and stuff like that, like horses and like the horseshoes and stuff like that. Different little items and stuff. They had meetings, but they had to have it as a secret because of course during Jim Crow and all that stuff, they couldn't really, communicate in public and trade
Right.
in public. So that's what I know about Masons. I don't know what they do now, but I know they never publicly ever say that they're Masons. Like,
And
like
see,
they don't say that.
it's probably what it boils down to is probably differences within different sects of it. Like I I used to work for this dude who had he has a phone, and on his phone there's a G with that triangle on it. So as soon as I seen him talking on the phone, he had a case with that G on it with that triangle looking diamond shape in it. So I got to chopping it up with him about it, and he went ahead. I such and such for this many years, and I go down here every the first month of every or my bad, the first Wednesday of every month. I go down here, and basically he's kind of broke it down as when it comes to the degrees, like saying like for to get out just to get out the first degree into the second degree, he had to basically memorize there's a pamphlet that they have or like a book, and there's a whole section of that book that has to be memorized in your memory, and you have to say it in front of everybody at the meeting. And that's how he got to be a second degree. Like he was breaking the shit down, and it sounded like, oh, okay. I really couldn't, debunk nothing, but I'm sure there's probably differences in these different houses, or I don't know what you call them.
So
lodges,
they're very secretive.
they're lodges.
They're very secretive. Very secretive.
So
lodges, yeah, that's the word.
If they're secretive and they don't speak on being a Mason. Well, we all know majority. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe all presidents are Masons. I don't know any that wasn't. They say majority of the police officers are Masons. If they don't supposed to speak on who are Masons, why the fuck do we know that? And I actually had a friend who was a Mason. How do I know? Because he told me. And I witnessed it one time we got pulled over. And we had some shit we ain't supposed to have in the car. He was outside talking to the police officer, and he just put his necklace in his mouth, which had the Mason sign on it. And I watched that officer say, "Have a nice day." I swear to God, bro. I swear to God.
That's something that they do, but they're not gonna be going around to different groups like, "Hey, I'm a Mason. Hey, I'm a Mason."
Like
There's a lot of people, like especially of our descent, that had grandparents and stuff who were Masons, and that's how we know about them. And of course, word of mouth is definitely a way to spread, oh, this is what a Mason is, that, but we never know what they do. We never know what
y'all
they
never
talk
seen
about.
the commercials on TV?
Like
this ain't anything. They got Mason commercials.
The only commercials I see on YouTube.
Yes.
No, I seen I'm on TV. Like them, they show the symbol. They show the little bing. You can be a Mason. Like you can join.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that. You know what? That reminds me of that Rick Ross and Jay-Z video called "The Devil Is a Lie." If you watch that, man, they putting up. It's like they got one. You know how a video is all in frames. They splashing in one frame, just a frame of different like satanic imagery. And I tell you the truth, I think they was fucking with us. Like I don't know, man. It's hard, but just if when you get time, watch that video called "The Devil Is a Lie" by Rick Ross and Jay-Z.
It's so crazy though, bro, because like Masons. That's one thing I don't like though, like how they put the things that are attached to us is like devilish and stuff like that, because it didn't start off like that at all.
Right.
It's just a secret society. Like that stuff is not. They don't worship like the devil or anything like that. It's just something that it's a code. You live by a code.
Again, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm gonna say Freemasonry got things to do with satanic beings, but I'm not going to say Masonry itself does. But I think Freemasonry does.
Nick would be. I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you responded, Nuke, because I was going to ask you that because I heard you speak of satanic type shit. I want you to listen to what he say. We're going to listen to a little bit more. He gets into the Illuminati and all kind of shit. So let's check this out real quick.
This is sales, and we are on the stage of life sailing, sort of like an old Freemason or Masonic poem is row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That's the secret if you can comprehend what I just said. But the point is that secrets are put into the craft of the teacher. The teacher does not blatantly tell you, this is the truth. You won't even understand it. What the teacher does is put the truth in the craft that the teacher is practicing. So you have shipbuilding, and you get this whole philosophy, which is really all of Egyptian mythology based on ships, water, because that was their craft. That was what that was. Then you go a little further down, and you get actually right here in California, on Wilshire Boulevard, there's a major Masonic temple there, and on the outside of the temple They show you the Pharaoh Akhenaten handing over to a Greek philosopher the truth. And that Greek philosopher handing it off to someone else. And that's right there on Wilshire Boulevard. You should go look at it.
Word.
This is where Freemasons get their knowledge handed to them from the Pharaoh of Egypt, Akhenaten, who is one of the special pharaohs, because Akhenaten is the one that didn't believe in the old Egyptian ways. He said there is a new way to approach God and told everybody that God was the Son.
Right.
And we're not going to get into Christianity and all of that later, but this was first Akhenaten. Now, I mentioned all of that just to draw a wedge between Freemasonry and Illuminati. The Illuminati is a different group. May have been part of, some of them may have been Freemasons, but Freemasonry is about the building of man as Solomon's temple. As Solomon builds his temple, this is how you should be building yourself. And as one of Solomon's temples, you are also building the world to be a better place. That's Freemasonry. Illuminati is a group of scientists that were against the church, and the church was against them. Some 17th century philosophers called themselves the illuminated ones, the ones who bring light into the world. They were scientists that were saying basically that the Bible is not the whole truth. That like a guy like Sir Francis Bacon, who everybody believes is the true life of Shakespeare. Francis Bacon, actually, there's a movie coming out on October 28th called Anonymous.
Shakespeare was a fraud.
That Shakespeare was a fraud. This is a Masonic law that's getting ready to be revealed. But this guy, Francis Bacon, is the one who was believed to be the original writer of Shakespeare. Francis Bacon would be somebody you would say is part of the Illuminati.
Right, right.
Not a bad group. The Illuminati has nothing to do with evil, nothing to do with all of that. The Illuminati is a group, well, the first group is a group of philosophers, a group of scholars that are not looking at reality based on the church. They're looking at it based on what we now call science.
Lou sound like he right there in the video. I thought that was the video at first.
So now let me ask this. You know, I'm ignorant to the fact because I don't know everything that he's speaking on to be real or false. He just stated, and you heard him, the Illuminati is not evil, for one. But my question is, everything that he just said, if he have no knowledge of nothing he's talking about, what in the fuck is he talking about then? That's my question. Because I know.
I understand this. Look, when you go through these when you go through these degrees of Masonry, you're learning things. You get what I'm saying? The one thing that you learn is what they taught and what they want us to believe. You're still going to teach that. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of pastors out here that understand that they're teaching falsely out the Bible, but they can't tell their people that. You know why? Because when they became pastors, basically they wrote it's an oath that you sign that once you learn whatever you start learning, you can't teach that to the people. You got to teach the people the tradition of what things are going. And if anything changes, they change it, and then they feed it to you just like a doctor. You get what I'm saying? When the joint came out, the 19 came out, you know, every scientist was coming up with this type of vaccine, that type, or this would work, that would work. You get what I'm saying? So that's just like the Bible. And that's just like Freemasonry. They got steps. And you learn how to teach the people. And you learn that, you know, this is the way we want them to learn. This is the way you go. So the shit that he's saying is the same shit that any other Mason would say in his degreeism or whatever you want to call it, because that's what they got to feed the world. He can't go off script. You get what I'm saying? He got to stay what he's doing. He got to teach us the way that they taught him to teach us.
So let me ask you this, Nu. Are all pastors Mason, or are you speaking of some?
I mean, I think all big ones are, but for the most part, I believe they are. I've seen a lot of pastors with them symbols.
And the reason I asked that is, you know what I'm saying, because I know some of us may have pastors in our family.
I do.
And my second question is, if they are Mason and they have to follow a script, who's gonna stop them from deterring from that script?
That's when the threat come on your family. And see, not only they teach you what happened when you break the oath. You know, that's one thing. It's not it's a scary thing to break the oath. And they show you, or believe me, they give you examples of the people who have broken.
See, man, I don't be believing most of this shit, man. I just, you know,
For me, I just feel like he's talking too much. That's just my opinion. Because at the end of the day, first of all, it's that he gave the roll your boat. The same thing as saying, like, ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, we all fall down. That means that means something too. It stands for something too. A lot of people don't know that. You know, that was on the Black Plague when they had to have the roses in their pockets because they was cremating, you know, people from who were dying from the Black Plague. So, in my opinion, the fact that he's speaking a little too much for me to be a Mason. He might have knowledge, but if he even has knowledge, he shouldn't be saying but so much. It's like some people, I feel like some people get information.
He didn't say much.
He's not saying more than we already done heard to me. That's what I'm saying.
Let Miss Rain chop it up.
Well, my father was a Mason, and he didn't tell me anything. I saw something one time, and I was 9 months pregnant, and had gone to my mother's funeral, and from South Carolina to St. Louis, and when I was leaving, he made some kind of motion to somebody. I didn't know who the somebody was until I got back to South Carolina, and the man had been told to watch me, to take care of me for him. And so, like I said, there's signs and symbols, but KRS-One didn't tell anything, and they're not as secretive as they used to be. It's okay. You see these guys with the symbols on their cars. Some of them have them on their license plates. So it's a symbol. It's a sign of clout. Nobody's gonna mess with you. They know who each other are, but they're not doing anything openly. They can go to the lodges now. They have the meetings openly, and nobody bothers them. But that's because of their security. They're vowed to keep everything secret. They're vowed to keep everything secret. Nobody's gonna mess with them.
I know you watched the whole video, Miss Lorraine. So what you just hit on is what he touched on towards the end. So I'm glad you brought that up. We're gonna welcome our brother Questman in the building. What's going on, Questman?
First of all, peace and blessings to all those in the panel, and salute. Can you hear me?
Peace and blessings.
All right.
Yes.
So this is the type of a conversation that it has such a weight, or it's gained such a weight that if something was removed and replaced by something else, many people that are listening or viewing wouldn't even know it. Now, I'm going to start there. The second part I can put at, because there's so many angles, 360 degrees to be exact, in which I can go with this. I'm going to go like this. We know what you called lodges are also identified as orders, and there are so many various orders in today's time. And so, like, some of the content that's been talked about here that I've listened to is attributable to specific orders, but not all. Now, let's deal with the word secret, for example. There's two sides to this.
It's like you got
Secret,
some distortion going on or something. Is it on your beard or something?
me, it might be my fan. Hold on.
I'm hearing something.
It's
Y'all
probably
hear
my
that?
fan. How about now?
You good?
Better?
Yeah, it was your fan, bro.
All right.
It gets toasty down here sometimes. I'm black. So I'm just saying, it's like this, okay? You have that word you use the word secrets. Okay, there are several aspects of this, and that's why you'll even find varying definitions in the dictionaries. And my favorite dictionary is the enormous Oxford Dictionary that is about 30 something volumes. Secrets are used in certain ways. And the ways you guys were talking about is preventive measures, where keep you out and select or kept in by an organized body of people. Now, there's another type of secret. There's secrets that are obtained because of the path you take. Okay. And as a result of your endeavor, you start to become conscious of certain things. Those who are also conscious of those same things recognize that. And then people who are higher in consciousness on that way begin to recognize you, and they observe you and see where you take it from there. And the closer you get, you understand, the more they start to demonstrate recognition. Now, the interesting part is that the secret that you guys are talking about are actually demonstrated to people who are higher up on the ranks. Okay, so people who get closer to knowledge, if you would, okay, they are actually ones that the adepts start acting funny with, because they're trying them. They're seeing um where their mindset lies. You understand? Because sometimes people get caught up in ego and a false sense of knowing, and as a result, they okay. With if the host will allow, in about 30 seconds, I'll give you an example. In about 30 seconds of the difference between speaking nonsense to a people and they take it as fact, they take it as truths, and speaking truths and the people take it as nonsense. Okay, so talking to you directly, very frankly, no hidden things, no symbols, no. See, these are things that people get caught up with sometimes. That gets them wild and awe and whoa! Look at the hand signs they just did. And sometimes that has an element. Sometimes that's manifesting, but sometimes that's doing the exact opposite of what the observer might assume it's doing. Okay, let's tell you about this. A report, right? The report, according to such and such broadcast station, tells us about the nature of a certain mineral called spice. And that if you take this spice and consume it, it'll give you a certain kind of enlightenment. And when you have this certain type of enlightenment, you reach, divine levels of just, grandeur. And they look up at you as a god. What I just said there was a bunch of nonsense. I told you I would do that after 30 seconds. But if I didn't tell you that it was a bunch of nonsense, there may be a party of people who would have been like, oh, spice, what, who, what? And they get caught up in the mist. You understand? So when this brother that you have on the screen was talking, I heard everything he was saying. But I also heard the things he was not saying. Okay? And that's where, according to this particular order, that's where their secrets lie. And that's what makes it remain a secret. You may say he's talking a lot, but sometimes that's a weapon all by itself. You understand? Some might call it a smoke screen, where you say a bunch of jabs when really every other 10 words is the word that you meant to say, or the word that matters.
So
that's what's up.
What trips me out is that we're all speaking about something. And I don't know if anybody, I'm not even going to ask you if you're a Mason, but we're all sitting here speaking about something we don't supposed to know shit about. That's what blows my fucking mind.
Speculation.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So how can I believe anything, and this is no disrespect to nobody on my panel, but how can I believe anything anyone up here says if you're not a Mason?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
hear this out, big brother. Okay, see the way the path goes, and it's common amongst all orders. Okay, irrespective of there's methods that they use to sift to find out who's who and who's real, who's authentic, and who's not. You understand? And sometimes the reverse moves or tactics be what gets the results. So in your case, you have a right to question. You have a right to be suspicious. You have a right to be critical. Okay, but there comes a certain point where you don't. You haven't reached that point yet, but those are the points that they'll try you. That groups of people, the orders I'm talking about. I don't know what order this brother is a part of, but certain orders will try you just like that. They want, you get to a point where now, before we was giving you a bunch of gibberish to see what you would do, to see how much candy you would want to consume. Now we're giving you raw gold. Now what are you going to do? And not only that, but we're going to give you a stiff shoulder while you're at it. And then next thing you know, you feeling some kind of way. And that's exactly what's intended. Like the brother would say, facts over feelings. It's that kind of formula there, where most of our days, we get overwhelmed with how we feel. We interpret our reality. We interpret life how we feel. Somebody tells us something that we don't like or we disagree with, and immediately it's our feelings that erupt and not any type of acknowledgement or even criticism, proper criticism of whether or not the person was speaking facts or fiction.
That's
Okay,
what's up.
so in this type of thing, it doesn't behoove us in any kind of way to say this brother is hocus pocus or not, especially if you already know, you've already said, I've heard this from each person, that Masons speak in secrecy. Okay, so that means you don't know if he's telling you the truth or not, because it's a secret. So if he was telling you the truth, you wouldn't know what to hear. You wouldn't know what word choices to listen for. Now, to sum it up, I put in the commentary some of the things that we were talking. One person said, considered. You understand? Here's the thing that's happened to us in today's time concerning the language, phonetic system versus the colloquial system versus the grammatical system. And what's happened is that many of us right now, we've said a whole bunch of words that don't even mean what you think it does. You understand? We've had a whole conversation here, and I can guarantee you that 75% of the words we've just said don't mean what you think. And if we played this back and you guys were to take down every word in the conversation and look it up in that big Oxford dictionary, your words didn't fit.
So
So
if you talking to, say we talking to 1 million people and 1 million people understand that one word as being that, then what does it matter?
But you ever heard of lemmings before, brother? You know what lemmings are?
I'm sure you about to tell me.
Lemmings are these little rodents, right? That when, let's say, one lemming gets spooked and takes off running, what are the other lemmings going to do? They're going to take off running too. And even if that lemming runs off the edge of an abyss, off a cliff or something, right?
My bad.
Even if that lemming runs off the edge of a cliff to its own death, the other lemmings will just keep on going, and they'll be all dying and won't think like, hey, wait a minute, what are we running for, and where did he go? Right? They won't think like that. So there's an old saying, and it's cited in so many different scriptural texts, philosophical texts. The majority of, if you got a room of 300 people, 500 people, right?
Gotta wrap it up.
500 people, 5 of them, and it's a lecture. Let's say you got a lecture going on. 5 of them understand what the heck's being talked about. The other 495 don't have a clue, except for maybe a few of those. So it's a strategy to be able to communicate to you, to get you to move a certain way. You understand? So that you don't behave like lemmings and run to your own death. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got you.
All right.
We want. I want to play a little bit more of this. You know what I'm saying? So we can hear what he's saying, because I'm feeling like somebody's going to say something or ask a question about what he's going to talk about. So let's continue.
One son was Germany, and they started a banking system in Europe, the Rothschilds. It was a Jewish family. started a banking conglomerate throughout Europe, lending and lending money, making money on money. And their banking practice got so big that they began to finance governments. The bank began to finance wars and other things like that. And so this group of bankers got slapped with the term Illuminati. Bilderberg Corporation, which is its own Trilateral Commission. These are all committees and groups of nerds that want you to believe they are someone for you to fear. Those that know the truth know what the Illuminati is. You know what Freemasonry is. In fact, you know that the only reason you can even speak the word Freemasonry and Illuminati is because the True Secret Society is operating on us right now, and you do not know. Those who are really in control, we don't even know their names.
Right.
We will never know their names. And here's the secret to life right here. The ones that are in control are righteous and good. The world is controlled by righteous people. Those righteous people make you believe that they must be feared so you don't rob them and beat them and run up in the White House and demand justice. These people keep big security all around them. Why? Because they're scared. Anytime a president you're the president of a nation, but you need security to walk amongst your people, you ain't the president. Come on.
Is it people who are supposed to be righteous and good, or who are righteous and good?
No, are.
Oh.
They are. They are. This is physics. The nucleus is surrounded by the proton. Every piece of matter is positive. It's the negative charge that makes it stagnant. If we only had positive charges, you would talk to the chair and it would respond to you. It's the negative charge that makes the chair what it is. So if you can somehow sidestep the negative charges in matter, you'll change it. This is called alchemy. Another subject. Just to put a period here. So Freemasons are Freemasons and Illuminati is Illuminati. Illuminati means illuminated ones. There's nothing to fear there. But nerds always want you to fear them because they are afraid of you. Now, one of the things I bring up about KRS-One, I got fans in the FBI, and I know it. I've seen them. I've spoken to them. I got fans in the FBI. Cops pull me over, playing my record. They want to play the record on the thing. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bullet. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the bullet. They pull me over for autographs. My reality is just a little bit different. When I do book signings, the CIA comes and gives me their card and say, good book. CIA journalists, agents, field agents, they come through. Here's the card, CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. Be like, wow, they bought the book. This is the world I'm in. I don't understand, yo, Chris, they got the big brother, and yo, conspiracy. I don't know about, I'm the conspiracy that the Illuminati need to be worried about. I'm the conspiracy you need to be really worried about. Me worried about you or what some other, see, here we go, again, and I'll just end it right here. Here we go. Don't listen to another person's purpose. The Illuminati is the Illuminati because they follow their purpose. Now, who are you? That's the question.
He looks saucy
sitting
right
around
there.
thinking, the minute you put Illuminati on your mind, they got you. The minute that's on your mind, because first of all, Illuminati don't even exist. It's a term we're throwing around for people we don't understand. And if you dig into the heart of any man, it is good. All people are suffering from problems that they face in their lives, and it comes out to us as corruption and evil. But if you know the truth, you know there's no such thing as corruption or evil in physical nature. So what is the real problem with people? The real problem is we have psychological disorders. We have depression. We have hungers and thirsts. We have losses. Just because you're the president don't mean you don't cry.
And see, Nikwa B just said something, you know, because even like when he's speaking, and there's certain speakers that are, you know, it's long form speakers, what I call them. And kind of with Quest, man, there's no knock to you, brother. But when you be talking, bro, I gotta really listen, because you know, you go down the street, you turn a left, you turn a right, and then you try to get back to that point, and that car don't always turn back around. And that it just be hard for me to, like, when I'm listening to him, it be kind of the same thing. And you could call me like I'm just misinformed. I'm just ignorant to what's all going on. So
no, you're not. No, you're not.
So you know.
So let me I want to go back to New, because New has some things that he just touched on. I think New spoke on it earlier. I don't know if you remember, New. You was talking about, you know, protection. I believe you said this, New. But what he said that like struck a nerve for me was fear. If these people have this much power, and he said they put this out there to portray that they have this power to make you fear them. How you feel about that, bro?
I mean, they do really. How many people you know in jail for nothing? What is one of our greatest fears as black men?
One of our greatest fears, black men? Shit, I was deaf.
You want to go to jail?
Nah, mine is death.
Jail, hell, in the hospital.
I mean, death is something that's going to happen in life anyway.
Right. Absolutely.
There
Absolutely.
you go. You get it. But here, you know, a black man with an ain't shit if you put him in jail, or a black man ain't shit if he ain't got money. So, you know, to me, there you have it right there. That's the fear, you know, and people are scared. I mean, when gas prices jump up to $5, you get scared. You run to the gas station, you show your fear when they tell you, and this is how they scare us. This is how they know people are scared, because they tell us the night before, tomorrow gas is going to go up 8 cents. That night, everybody's at the pump filling up. I mean, they kind of show us what's going to happen. I'm not sure if I'm clear, bro. My
no, we hear you, bro.
Going in and out.
You hear you loud and clear, bro.
Right. But I want to take something back to what you keep saying, why we know everything. Hey, when you first, everybody on here, you know, and I'm mainly speaking to, I mean, I'm just mainly speaking to us and YJ on this. When y'all first heard about Illuminati, where was it from? When y'all heard the word Illuminati, where y'all hear from?
When I first heard it,
yeah,
you know,
where
I
did
heard
you first hear that word from?
I heard it entangled with hip hop when I first heard it.
And Tupac. Most people heard that shit with Tupac.
From Tupac. You understand what I'm saying? Tupac, to me, I never heard of it, and I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about when he was saying it. I didn't know what the hell Illuminati was.
I know I didn't.
We just come.
You chop it up.
Dig into shit, and I found out what it was. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, I can't help it when I do. I can't hear myself. What I'm saying is, they want us to know things. They want us to know about them. So you're going to learn about Freemasonry, Masonry. You're going to learn about the word Illuminati in your lifetime because they want you to know about it. The same way I can sit here and tell you that I believe that the East Coast is going, you know, flood. Where do I get this from? I've been hearing it for a while, so I put it out there to people. You know what I mean? I heard Prince say in like 90, it wasn't till after 9/11, but he did a show in 99 saying Bin Laden, he got to get back to America. Bin Laden gonna let the bomb off. Like, how did he know that? You get what I'm saying? Then 2 years or 3 years later, it happened. So the rich people know some of this shit that's happened. We just the ones that's out of the loop of that. You get what I'm saying? I think it just trickles down from there. And some know what's going on. They want us to know. You know, that's me. Like Katrina, you're one from the South, YJ. Like, after you hear stories about what happened in Louisiana, do you think Katrina was, more controlled, or do you think that was just a freak of nature?
When you say control, are you talking about like the weather control conspiracy? Or are you talking about how they manipulated different levees?
That was a dead-on shot. That was a dead-on shot. We heard that they blew the levees. You heard conspiracies about that. To be honest with you, I don't even believe they blew the levees. I believe more they guided that hurricane that way.
So you're not talking about the weather.
No, I think the hurricane. Yeah, it's weather control. What I'm saying. But when the people there say they heard that the levees blew up, Spike Lee did a little thing. People were saying they heard explosions, whatever. I still believe that was the hurricane. I mean, that much water forcing in.
Right, right. Like, I mean, you got that much water.
I don't know what that sound like when they we don't know what it sound like if they
you got
break.
concrete
It might sound
breaking.
like
You got concrete breaking behind thousands and thousands of PSI worth of water behind it. I mean, it's not just gonna sound like a mouse pissing on cotton. It's gonna, it's gonna make noise.
Exactly.
So I'm reading the chat. And this is one thing that I think we all heard, especially when we speak on Illuminati. We really don't hear anything bad or anything that you should fear when they talk about Masons. I see a lot of people say tread lightly when you talk about Illuminati. You got to be careful. Lioness, this is my question for you. Do you feel, I don't know if you know too much about Illuminati, you speak your mind about Mason. Do you feel that there's something to fear? Because if we listen to what KRS-One said, there's nothing to fear. What's your thoughts on that?
But we're not supposed to be afraid of anything except God and his punishment of us. But he's a talker. He's a storyteller. And to me, he had the little young children in the audience mesmerized because of what he wasn't saying. He didn't say anything, but he's a talker. And he was talking in circles around things. But he, like I said, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything that I didn't already know. Nobody asked, what does the 33 degrees mean? What does that mean? What point does water freeze? What point does water freeze? What does that have to do with Freemasonry? See, there's a lot of stuff that could be questioned, but he really couldn't answer. And like I said, he's a talker. I assume he gets paid, for the lectures that he gives, for his mesmerizing. And if you think about Malcolm X, those are a bunch of, besides being in churches, the white people he talked to were students, young students. And he taught them a lot, but he didn't say anything that was going to change their mind. He explained how we feel, but there was nothing that changed their mind all this time. Everything is still the same. So if anybody is still afraid, they'll always be afraid. They'll always be afraid. But I remember Tupac talking about Donald Trump and the Illuminati. So there was something happening up there in New York that had everybody spooked, had everybody paying attention. But did they learn anything? I, that's all I can say is that was, a bunch of mumbo jumbo, talking to people that really are listening. Like Questman was saying, you got 500 people in the room, and 5 of them may understand and be paying attention. The rest of them are just, duh, okay, they're in the right place at the right time. We've got this, but nothing changes.
So I want to direct this next question to Questman. Can we all sum this up as power to control the masses, instill fear, so you can get them to do what you want to do? Is that what you see, Questman?
It's like this when it comes to power, synonymous with knowledge, anything of that nature. There's a saying that the ones that speak of the God don't know the God, and the ones that you don't hear speaking of the God, those are the ones that know the God. Now, that if you dig into that statement, those words I just said there's a message concerning the masses. You understand? As I mentioned before, the masses are prone to emotions and to respond emotionally. Okay, so the select or elect or adept or the few amongst them are those who are aware of this. They're not all the same. Even this few that I'm talking about, they're not all the same, because if you recall, there is something called knowledge of good and evil. What this implies is agreeable, disagreeable. Concerning fear, in many cases, the fear that people have, um, sometimes it's inspired or put upon them by people, higher up in the food chain, so to speak, and done so to get people to move a certain way. You understand? If you can recall, we just had, a jab of a situation that just took place, right? And people responded to that a certain way. You understand? They responded with, a certain behavior. And if you observe the behavior, there was more, if anything, confusion than anything else. And that could have went any kind of direction. That could have been, what is the word I want to use? Like cacophony. I think that's the word I want. Of a situation, and you if you look in today's time, you would have had a very messy problem in this country. In today's time, if anyone can observe, there's an imbalance going on. I'm talking about at the bottom level, okay? And the elites or adepts or people that are responsible for the authority in this country are actually losing the reins of control, or the reins of being able to manipulate the population as they once had been. And so other factors are coming into play to try to, you know gain a hold of that harness again, of this wild bull. You know the bull symbol, right? The bull. Okay. See, even when I'm talking now, I've got to think and choose my words carefully, so that way any would-be listener can take in what they will, and any would-be assumer doesn't misinterpret what I'm saying. Um, okay, I'll use myself as an example. When I was younger, before I learned how to fight, right, and before I learned courage and bravery and what that means, um, there was an aspect where I had to communicate a certain way in order to defend myself, right? And it would be in a way that would manipulate the mind of the would-be attacker. You understand? Let's say I was in middle school, right? And I know like, man, I know I can't work with this guy. What am I going to do with this guy, right? But in the back of my mind, if like what I know now, I would have operated differently, because I wouldn't have been afraid, right? I wouldn't have had any fear as an individual. So I used my intellect to manipulate and control the person that I was afraid of, to get them to either avoid any kind of hostility towards me, or to become someone that I would be able to have authority over, right? That was as a child, as a young man. Okay. but as I began to get an understanding of what it means to know, and there's still no understanding. So, and I want to make this clear that as much as we think we know, we don't. Okay, as much as we think we know, we don't. Let me remind you. Let's zoom us back into this little speck of dust that we inhabit, surrounded by an infinitum of cosmic presence. We don't know much. Okay, and what little we do, we dispute over. But the people who do know, they don't even speak, they observe. So there's a difference between the masses. There's a difference between the environment that we find ourselves in. There's a difference between the things that we use amongst ourselves to feud over. And there's a difference between those who actually are of knowledge. You understand? If
Right.
you think, real quick, if you think of like someone like, think of, okay, let's take it economically. Think of the difference between the behavior of a billionaire. I'm not talking about the publicized ones, the ones you never even heard of. You understand? And you'll keep on not hearing of them because that's not their prerogative. Their prerogative is for you to know them at the bottom end of the food chain, Walmart. You understand? Go keep on shopping at Walmart. Eventually, that'll get back to me where I am up here, economically speaking. So, another way of putting it, the people of real knowledge are much like that. You understand? While the people of little knowledge, we dispute, we argue over the most vain things, and we get nowhere as a result.
So YJ, let me ask you this. We're gonna play a song after this. I feel like I'm talking to you, YJ, because I feel like me and you on the same page. Like after listening to our brother Questman, our sister Lorraine, our little sister Nickel B, Neutral, did it explain anything that you didn't know about Freemason or Illuminati? Does it instill any more fear in you? Or I don't even know if you even
Because there's no fear involved. I think people fear what they don't understand, and that's
exactly bingo.
So that's all I really got to say.
Bingo. And he touched on that. We're gonna go to this jam, man. Let me change my settings. It's what you don't know is what you fear. And that I think they shit purposely. So let's go to this joint real quick, man.
Just let me be. We can see and will forever be named. Clutching on to my universal securities. Negativity can take my purity. Surrounding myself with positivity. Can never break a spirit that the soul has written out for me. My shell is within interconnected properties. Call me Goddess Bia, talented senorita. Carrying raw energy, I'm too powerful to take my protection shield of happiness. Don't mean to be coy. You can never steal my joy.
This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real spill, they can never take my joy. They can never take my joy. This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real spill, they can never take my joy. They can never take my joy. Yeah, and I mean that there. Can't let them knock me out my square. I can't get caught in that snare. I had to man up, trying to stand up, but I always feel like it's something pulling me down, like my shirt got caught in the chair. I'm saying, this type of wave could bring the tide to the sand, and they can never stop my joy. That was not in my plans, it never was, never will be. But I can't hold you, it's all love, and I'm still me. I've been the same, kept a smile on my face throughout the bullshit. And even if I fall, I bounce back like what's good. That's just the way it goes. Arthur James and Nick will be the poet. They can't never stop our joy, let them know it. This life is all that you make it. If you don't believe that, then you sadly mistaken. And it's a wake-up call. Early morning feeling this vibe. If you ain't on this type of time, then get out my life. I'm just saying. This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real spill, they can never take my joy. They can never take my joy. This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real spill, they can never take my joy. They can never take my joy.
It's the way you bring that light to me. Dandelions breaking seam and earth sign. I'm grounded. Can't still my joy. I'm acid rain. I'm changing the climate. Put my voice against the glass. Call it diamond. I wish upon to set me free. I can't deny you exasperate my dutility. Listening to the sound of laughter. My destiny changes the colors of leaves. Springing into my destiny. Can make me fall poetry keys to my heart. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You the master, nobody can ever steal my tranquility. Stop my abilities, cross out my realities, my factual and actualities. Picking and choosing, support whether winning or losing. Writing my forms cause I know what the truth is. I know what the truth is. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real skill that can never take my joy. Never take, you never take my joy. Why? This life is all that you make it. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real skill that can never take my joy. Never take my joy. You can never take my joy. It's all about having fun, you know. Right now. Doing this from Trip C Treehouse, you know what I'm talking about? You gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Right now. This life is all that you need. Think twice when you caught up in the situation. Real spill that can never steal
My joy, my joy.
my joy. Straight like that. And that's a wrap. Yeah.
Guys, I became
All right. Man, I didn't expect for this live to take this turn, but I'm glad it did because everybody know I always try to deliver a message in every live, even if it's supposed to be about music. But this discussion was very informative for me, and I want to thank everybody who put their input, their knowledge on the table, and it was greatly appreciated. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I see a lot of people, speaking what they know, and just know you always welcome to come up on this platform as well. A lot of people don't feel like they can speak. They rather type. It's cool. Remember, I got a telephone number you can call too. But we're gonna go ahead and do our final thoughts.
I can't hear.
You can't hear us?
Yeah, okay, that's better. You're louder. Yes.
Okay, my fault. Hopefully y'all heard what I said. Hold on, let me change my settings. All right, hopefully that's better. But let's go ahead and do our final thoughts. We're gonna start with our man. Drop your jewels, bro. You're on mute, bro.
Okay, there we go. I was saying that I enjoyed the lesson of the hearing of the last song. Keyword joy. That is, the nature of a key ingredient in our essence, in our existence. That if we, really ignite it and increase in that, you understand, we're on our way up. You understand? If you understand the nature of your existence, what it is that you are, how you are, and how to, increase in your purpose, you understand? Joy is a fundamental ingredient that'll aid you along your way. It also manifests in the form of light. Okay. And such a light, as you know, anytime you take on light, it allows your path, your way to be illuminated so you can see clearly. And you also be able to identify any obstacles along that way. In regarding this conversation that we've been having, one of the things that stands out to me is our choice of words. And we know that there is power in words, as for example, they use the term spell, you understand? Power in words. And if the words are chosen correctly and accurately, you get the most impact, the most influence and the most outcome, for better or for worse, depending on the type of words you use. Because the contrary could be the case as well. If the words are not the proper words, you can get something disagreeable. We're on a journey, you understand? And yes, we do have one life to live, but the thing that you come to understand is that life doesn't end. You understand? It simply shifts phases. It goes through one phase to another phase to another phase, and all you have to do is look at what's in you and look at what's outside of you to have any type of validation for that. I'm going to simply say this: I have a great appreciation for all those who've talked on the panel. We all live in this abode, so I believe that all of our uh, thoughts are valid. You understand? All of our opinions have basis. You understand? And that we all have something to put into this pool, and we can build and we learn from each other. Even the people who might perceive themselves to be, on the highest of the pedestal, there's still something to learn, and they might find that they're not on the highest of pedestal at all, but really on ground level. So, for me, it's always inspiring to hear, especially when it comes from family. You understand? From the melanated, it's always inspiring to hear what we're thinking, what our perspectives are from what we observe in the life that we've been living. So I have a respect for that, and I only encourage to keep on with these things and not consider any of this insignificant, any of this irrelevant. You understand? All of our thoughts that have been projected, you understand, carry a lot of weight. You understand? Carry a lot of weight, more so than even the gravity that we put on some of these orders that we've been talking about. You understand? More weight than even that. You understand? Sometimes the greatest of secrets is not far from your eyes. Sometimes the greatest of secrets is not far from your eyes. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, my brother. You gotta excuse me, I'm over here eating some goddamn crab legs.
Well,
But
hey, let me show you something real quick. Let me show you something. I haven't even got into it yet, but yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. You know,
I ain't mad at you. I want to definitely say thank you, man, for coming up here. You're always welcome. Like you said earlier,
yes, indeed.
from the person with the highest knowledge, who feel they have the highest knowledge,
Hmm.
to the person who may be at ground level. Me personally, I will never close my ears to no one, because a wise man always looks to learn. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? That's just my opinion. So I appreciate you for coming up here, my brother.
yes, indeed.
Now
Peace
make
and
sure y'all
blessings.
subscribe to Questman, the light
Salute.
dome.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna move it on. Go to our big sister, the lioness. Drop your jewels, big sis.
Okay. YJ, I think it was YJ was talking about the commercials that they were showing on TV. That's the Shriners. They're advertising their hospital, and that's in competition with St. Jude. Everything is free, but it's a recruiting method also. And I saw in the chat where D Love was saying my son. And see, I was taught that Masons are our sons. And I've got a real short story about that. Me and my youngest daughter were in Walmart, just strolling through shopping, and this little white man came up to me and said, "You're my mother." And I looked at Natasha and I said, "Girl, this man's crazy. Let's hurry up and get away from him." And he followed us through the store and he said, "Is there anything I can help you do?" He knew who I was. A lot of
What?
people know who we are. When he knew that I was a queen, a righteous woman, and they're our children. The Masons are our sons. That's what he was telling me. Never saw that man before, and he followed us all the way through the store to the cash register. If there was something I was looking at, he wanted to know if he could hand it to me. That's my short story. Anyway, like I said, D Love mentioned that. So she's been around some righteous people. She knows the deal. And I'm proud that people don't have to brag about what they know. My mother was an Eastern Star. I never knew anything about it. Sometimes in the middle of a conversation, she'd bust out laughing. Mama, what are you laughing at? Girl, it was something we had to do. But that was their processing that they didn't talk about. She didn't even tell her children.
Uh-oh. Like we lost you, big sis. Give her a second before I move on, because she may pop right back up. Definitely want to give her an opportunity to finish what she was, speaking on. Maybe it's the goddamn insurgents fuck with my big sister like that. Get up out of here! But again, I definitely appreciate everybody for being here. Here she go. All right. Go ahead and finish your...
So which one do you use?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you hear what I said about the salt? There was the kosher salt, the salt, and then the Himalayan pink salt. You should be using this, you should be using that. But there's some people that's bodies can't tolerate much salt at all. And there's some that it doesn't bother at all. Well, which one do you follow? Which one is best for you? Same as the lemmings. You're going to follow somebody running and jump off the cliff too, or you're going to do what's best for you. You're going to stop, back up, regroup, and think about it. So people got a lot of things to deal with. And if community doesn't try and deal with it as a group effort, without being secretive about it or just being righteous, and serious and sincere about it, things are going to stay the same. Things are going to stay the same. And like I said, KRS-One is a talker. He's an orator. And as long as he gets somebody to listen, he's going to find something to say. Not necessarily the truth about anything, but enough to keep you listening. I always liked him. I liked the lyrics to his songs and stuff. But to me, he didn't say anything in that lecture. He was dynamic. But he didn't say anything. He didn't give up any secrets, no clues, no nothing. But somebody will keep listening to him to see if he finally spills the beans, and he doesn't have any that he can spill. Nothing to waste. And I appreciate everybody that in the panel that came up that had a lot to say. You've got some intelligent friends, boss man. You do. And some singers. Yes. And so you got the right group around you. It's gonna keep you intact,
Hey.
And it was good to come up again so soon after last night, but it feels good. I'm having an adult conversation.
Check this
And
out.
I love it. And I thank you.
Y'all drop a 1 in the chat if y'all think Lionel should get her a page. Yeah, I had to do it. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I had to do it. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like she shouldn't. Let's watch these ones pop up. She done hauled ass. New! Drop your jewels, bro. I gotta hear what you gotta say.
I ain't got nothing to say. Want to bed.
Hey, man, don't be a goddamn negative Nelly, man. Speak your shit, man.
No.
You the reason why I do. You the reason why we talk about a lot of shit.
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? All right, so we record a lot, right?
Yes, sir.
And it comes to times that we want to learn different things. When you want to learn something different, what do you go with?
I know what you want me to say. I'm gonna say it, Google.
What life has made us. All right, so when we was younger, right, most families had, encyclopedias in their house. You had a science project or any information, you went to the encyclopedia. And then libraries, got computers in them. You can go to the library, and you notice that encyclopedias, they kind of wore out. You don't see them no more, really, unless you go in somebody's house and they just got them on their shit. What I'm just saying is, they give us the tools to learn, and the same information that you could look up back in the day. Now you could just sit in your house. You don't got to go nowhere and research it. You can sit in your house and just look at it. Any questions you got, you can just look them up. Freemason, any of that, you can just look up. And what you do is, if you see enough videos of it, you just put your own speculation of what you think, because you'll hear somebody saying something and you hear somebody saying something different. And from them things, you get your own speculation of what you think, and you put your 2 and 2 together. And it's your truth if you want to believe it or not, or it's, it's just some information. So what I'm saying to you is, with, the Bible, life didn't stop there. And what I'm saying, life didn't stop there is, I'm saying the Bible because it was brought up kind of. So I got to take it there. So bear with me with it, boss. Life don't stop there. And I think you should, sometimes explore and find different things out, because it seems like what you was taught is what you stopped, where you stopped at. And you're not going to accept it because, that's what you was taught. That's how it was brought to you. However you put that knowledge in your head. But what I'm saying is just open your mind some and just explore. It's nothing wrong with exploring, and that's for anybody in the chat. There's nothing wrong with exploring. There's nothing wrong with going out and seeing if it's a difference than what you learned from when you was younger or from what your ancestors taught you. And there's nothing wrong with looking. I ain't say you had to believe. I just said, go look.
Hey,
and that's how I'm going to leave it.
I got a lot of respect for you, but before I let you go, just read the screen right now. If you can see that.
Okay.
This is one thing that I guess it is a fear for me because of what I was taught. Trust in the Lord and His guidance, and
They don't say trust in. They say trust in God.
No. I'm speaking from my terms. I'm not reading what she's saying. I'm just speaking from my terms.
Okay.
I guess you could say I'm giving my cliff notes from what she said. Trust in the Lord and His guidance, and it's also said, which I've never found, never questioned what the word says. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the reason why what you said about me is true. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like what our parents taught us as kids to at least try to live a long, healthy life. You know what I'm saying? We took those things that they taught us, or hopefully some of us did anyway, and embedded that in our mind, and we took that and we lived our life based on what we were taught. So if you could do that with whether it's your grandma, or your mother, or whoever, it's hard for me to go against what they taught me in the Bible. Now, of course, the words say you seek knowledge and you'll find it. So to me, that almost goes with what you said. Open your mind up. There's nothing wrong with researching a little more. So I salute you for saying that, bro. I salute you for saying that.
You got it.
But Brother Neutro, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to his channel.
I think I was going to say some more.
Say that again.
I ain't gonna say no more than I said. You thought I would say more. I wasn't gonna say no more than that. Then we'll be
I
in
know
a
you.
whole Bible conversation in there.
Yeah. This live would have extended another 30, 45 hours. Nah, but I appreciate you, man, for real.
You got it.
My brother Neutro.
Quest Man said something. I can't remember what he said. I wanted to get on about it, but it's because I love Quest Man. He said something. I can't think of what he said, but
Talking about in the chat or while he was up here?
While he was up here. I
Quest
forgot
Man
what it
said,
was. I go back and look at it.
Niqua B, I dropped Quest Man.
I mean,
no, go ahead. My fault.
You know, Quest Man. I just like his knowledge. You know what I mean? And I'm one who, like YJ said, he go around the corner and stuff. But sometimes you gotta get in that car and ride with him, and you'll understand where he was coming from. Now that story, he kind of lost me at. I think YJ picked it up, and when YJ said, it made me revert back to what he was saying at first, and then I got it. But I mean, I just like that. I like how he come with it. You know what I mean? And so one day, me and him gonna sit down and go back and forth and yell at each other.
Yep. Because he will yell at you. If he not getting through you, he's gonna yell at you. Gonna beat it in your brain. My nigga.
All right, I'm not easy to get through.
You're not at all.
You already.
All right, bro. I guess I get my final thoughts and we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you, bro.
All right,
man. This is a great live, man. Hell of a live. I'm not gonna speak very long because in these type of topics where I'm not strong at, I have to listen. But one thing about listening to anything, let me get my camera right, that you're not 100% familiar with, or that's not a strong point for you, you're at the will of the speaker or the teacher. And we were discussing Freemasons and Illuminati, supposedly secret societies that some of us know a little bit about. And Queen Lorraine stated that KRS-One didn't give up no secrets. She said everything that he was saying, she already knew. Well, I can't say the same. I didn't. So that erased my question, which was, well, if you don't know what goes on within the Mason society, how you know he didn't give up a secret? If you heard everything that he said before, then I can respect that. But one thing that I want to touch on before I leave is something that RJ dropped in the chat, fear. I think Fifi dropped in the chat, fear. D-Love dropped in the chat, fear. That's why I played that song from YJ and Niqua B. Some people might say you're an idiot or you crazy, because I don't fear that shit. When I was a child, I was afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die anymore because I know that's something that has to happen. Now, do I want to live my life to the fullest? Yeah. But I'm not going to live it in fear of what I believe and what I speak. If them motherfuckers want to come kill me, I'm going out like Queen Latifah. I'm telling you. Y'all might not agree with the way I feel, but this is just the way I feel. One thing I told y'all earlier is I never close my ears to nothing you say. I do listen. But I'm not going to fear nobody but the man who's responsible for me being here. That's it. Because regardless if I say the wrong thing about Illuminati or Masons or whatever, they can kill me anyway if they got that much power, which I don't doubt that they do. But I'm not scared. I don't fear no man, no organization at all. If you're going to kill me, kill me. Might sound like some asshole shit to say. But this feeling that I feel right now increased after I lost my mom and my brother. I don't give a shit. Yes, I love my daughter to death and I want to be here for her. So I'm going to keep living my life the way I see fit. Fuck them. That's how I see it. Appreciate y'all, man. But before I go, I know y'all like, this motherfucker crazy. Let me get off this motherfucker live. That's you. I ain't scared. But before I go, though, definitely want to give my condolences to a friend of mine, Heather. She done been on my platform. She's from Cloy's community. She lost her son yesterday. That's something no parent should have to deal with. My heart goes out to you, Heather. You know I got nothing but love for you. If y'all want to donate, go to Chloe's page. She put up a video where you can donate to Heather's. Excuse me. Why the hell I keep saying Heather? God damn. Catherine. I'm sorry. I don't know why the hell I keep. Catherine. I'm so sorry. Catherine. You want to donate? It's in the video on Chloe's page. It's love from over here. Salute to everybody in the building. Salute to my homie Weezy, who we haven't seen in a while. In case y'all ain't know who Chris Lewis was, that's Weezy. Wait. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up and get up out of here, man. Y'all know as always, love. Hug your kids. Love your kids, man. Stay vigilant, man. We gone, man.
I am. Yeah. I say I'm built to last, yeah. Oh, put me through the fire, a hurricane, I can stand through the storm. I ain't going nowhere, get used to me. Most folks, they ain't made this strong. Got longevity, I'm built to last. Maybe in a rush, trying to build it fast. Was steady with the process, I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last.
It take a lot to walk in my shoes, and I'm a proud dude. Keep weak niggas round you. You thinking that they proud of you, but secretly they down on you. You thinking that they there for you cause they hanging around you. Now think about it, where you was when they found you. The same boat that they was in, y'all was drowning. But I was built off a solid foundation. I was college bound Jason, I found that y'all hating. I think they lured you to my greatness. I think it's sad how many pretend
participate. See the haters so blatant, they not strong, they won't make. I got the heart of an ox, I can take. See, they can't relate. How I was raised, I can't take a break. And I be catching all that shade, I can even taste it. My time valuable, I can't waste it. I'm built to last, pimping faces.
Put me through the fire, a hurricane, I can stand through the storm. I ain't going nowhere, get used to me. Most folk, they ain't made this strong. Got longevity, I'm built to last. I be in a rush, trying to build it fast. Was steady with the process, I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last.
True story. This past year was a test for me. I had a lot of bullshit that was stressing me. For 9 months, I was living in my mama house, sleeping on my mama couch, wondering when I'ma bounce. My oldest daughter made me feel she ain't love me. Relationship had blatantly turned ugly. My old lady plus my other 2 kids, all in a sister crib with nowhere to live. How the hell we get to this, I don't know. Mama taking money from me all on the low. It's hard being a man when you're trying to provide, doing all that you can, but the stronger survive. Then I realized I was built for adversity. The real gon' relate, that's why Blake got a verse from me. Soon I got a phone call saying I've been approved. God say, pack your bags, get your family and move.
Ladies and gentlemen, controllers in the building with Body to Beat Global. We are in the building. Black Sabbath
Got longevity, I'm built to last. I be in a rush, trying to build it fast. But steady with the process, I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last.
My journey's been a long ride. All these potholes in the ground, you know I don't lie. You know the pressure that it brings when you're trying to spread your wings, but the weight make you don't fly. I done heard the birds chirping moonlight. I was from the curb in the noon fights. Niggas all broad in the daylight. We ain't bad niggas, we don't sleep right. Wake 'em up, neutral, they be sleeping on them. Them elevated thoughts that be leaking on them. See them trying to spread it like the vat, so instead of taking that, I can show you how to keep it dormant. I done been in wars with the devil. I can train you, it's nothing for me to help you. He don't want this foot up in his ass, cause he know I'm built to last. In the past, he just
put me through the fire, a hurricane, I can stand through the storm. I ain't going nowhere, get used to me. Most folk, they ain't made this strong. Got longevity, I'm built to last. I be in a rush, trying to build it fast. Was steady with the process, I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last. That's why I'm built to last.
Ladies and gentlemen, Body to Beat Global.
Y'all be easy. One love.